Ceremony has been a constant with civilization, a glue that binds people into the community, especially for religion. For both secular and religious reasons, not to mention kingly bragging, the feast was an especially important ceremony. We've already mentioned a few of these. Let's review.
Elites likely staged feasts for every important event. Kings and queens sitting above the lesser folk, ceremonial cupbearers, ritual washings, and vials of perfumes. Likely fare would have been meats stewed and grilled, flatbreads, vegetables and fruits, then pastries with honey. Beer and wine flowed, the best wine for the elites and the lesser beer for the hoi polloi.
The apparent ancient champ was Assyrian king Ashurnasirpal. His fabulous feast about 870 BCE, complete with a stela describing the food. Start with the thousands of livestock to prepare, add fowl, bread, beer, and wine, still in the thousands for each. Guests were bathed, anointed, and returned to their land in peace and joy. The king claimed success as a diplomat.
Pharaohs ruled, and their legendary exploits were recorded on temple walls. Feasts happened for religious purposes like commemorating the dead. New York's Metropolitan Museum had a special exhibit on feasts of the Middle Kingdom of Egypt around 2000 BCE, give or take a few centuries, all recorded on extensive array of steles. Staples were bread and beer, vegetables, fruits, and beef was the most important meat, at least for the elites. Pharaohs were wine drinkers, made from all kinds of fruits, not just grapes.
New York University put on an appetite for the past, making recipes from particular times and places. This included Babylonian cooking from a team from Yale University using recipes from clay tablets, likely used come feast time for Babylonian billionaires. The Yale team had a short YouTube video on the 4,000-year-old Neo-Babylonian stews they created, the oldest recipes ever found, with a vegetable stew featuring beets, a beer and lamb stew, and a lamb broth. The Greeks were known for the symposium, with discussion and entertainment. Plato's Symposium added Socratic dialogue with Socrates. The symposium was preceded by a banquet with the same arrangement, the men reclining on couches. Foods mentioned included meats, fish, cheeses, sausage, vegetables, and bread. That was the first course. Desserts were the second, including pastry, cakes, and fruit. The food was cut up as finger food, with fingers wiped periodically by slaves. The wine drinking came later, with the symposium. Romans had multiple types of gatherings, like public feasts, dinner, and drinking parties. A major feast was called a convivium. A difference with the Greek symposium was wine drinking before, during, and after eating, with women allowed to attend. Foods were similar to those of the Greeks. Wall paintings from Pompeii showed these feasts. Petronius's play called Satyricon was a satire of a grand dinner party. Public banquets were held annually, including the celebration of wine gods Bacchus and Dionysius.
The Roman feasts of emperors probably were the most extravagant in the ancient world, certainly the most written about. These were renowned not for the food, but the entertainment, subject to the whims of the emperor. Savage rulers could include torture or executions, while guests that did not please the emperor could be disposed of. Think Nero.
We've concentrated on the Fertile Crescent and Mediterranean Europe so far. Next, it's on to China, India, and Africa, each with its own distinctive culture and history. China maintained empires beginning with Emperor Qin in the 3rd century BCE. India, including Pakistan, had a long and complex history with multiple cultures over the millennia. Africa is a large continent where humans started and remained with multiple cultures by location and time period. The next video is China on food history and mystery.